Hi, girls and boys. Welcome back to a story time with me, Deacon Emily, here at St. Paul Lutheran Church. I will be reading to you from the Holy Moly Easter story, and we will read the part of this book that tells us what happened on Good Friday, the day that Jesus died. So get cozy and settle in to listen to this part of the story for Holy Week's Good Friday. Jesus and the Cross. On that dark night, the Garden of Gethsemane was quiet. The soldiers had arrested Jesus, and the disciples had run away. The crowds were angry. They mocked and shouted at Jesus. The soldiers had paid Judas 30 silver coins to betray Jesus. Afraid, many of the disciples hid. "I don't know Jesus," the disciple Peter said as he hurried away. The soldiers hurt Jesus and put a crown of thorns on his head. They forced him to carry a heavy cross. "Crucify him," the crowds yelled. Jesus groaned and carried his cross up the hill. The soldiers drove nails through Jesus' hands and feet. They hung him on the cross between two thieves. Jesus gave a loud cry, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" And Jesus died on the cross. Jesus' friends took his body, wrapped him in a clean cloth, and laid him in a tomb. They said goodbye, sealing the tomb with a large stone. It was the darkest it had ever been. That's where our Good Friday story ends. This page starts the Easter part of the story. So I'll close the book, but I have something else to show you. Yesterday, on Maundy Thursday, I showed you a set of resurrection eggs, and we opened each egg to find a little toy or a little image that helped us remember a part of Jesus' last days before his death and resurrection. Today I have for you this wooden Easter egg, and we're going to open it together and see what's inside to again help us remember the days of Holy Week. So on the outside of the egg, you see a palm. So we remember Palm Sunday, the day that Jesus entered Jerusalem. And that was a celebration. People were excited to see him. The king had come. But it was about to begin a very sad week. So if I open up the egg, I can take out a smaller egg. And the smaller egg has a picture of a city, Jerusalem, the temple. Jesus wanted his house to be a house of worship, that God's house is a place where we pray and we sing and we worship God. And as part of his last days on earth, Jesus reminded people of that. We can open the egg again, and inside we have a heart. Well, everything Jesus did during Holy Week was because he loved us. And he gave us the greatest commandment to love one another as he has loved us. And so this egg reminds us of that love by having a heart on it. And we can open the egg, and there's a smaller one inside. And can you see here? This has like a pitcher and water. It's supposed to be a reminder of water flowing out. Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. It was something so strange to do. The disciples couldn't believe that Jesus would be doing the work of a servant. And Jesus wants us to serve too. There's another egg inside. It gets smaller. So after he washed the disciples' feet, Jesus had a meal with them. and that meal included bread and wine. We call that now Holy Communion, when we have bread and wine to remember Jesus' Last Supper. When he had that supper, he asked his disciples to do this in remembrance of him. To eat bread, it is his body, and to drink the wine, it is his blood. Can this egg get any smaller? Oh, it can. There's another egg. Oh, this egg has a cross on it. After supper, Jesus went to the garden to pray, and in the garden he was arrested. And when he was arrested, he was taken to Pontius Pilate. The crowd said, yes, we want Jesus to be punished. Jesus was punished by being crucified on a cross. And so here we have a little cross. This is a very beautiful cross. And crosses can be beautiful today because we know that what Jesus did on that ugly cross makes life beautiful today because we have promise that he conquered death. He didn't stay on that cross. He didn't stay in that tomb. So there's one more egg. Oh, this egg is so little. And this egg is a different color, isn't it? It's kind of gray. It reminds me of a stone or a tomb. So what do you think would be inside of a little tomb? Let's open it up. Nothing. It's empty. Of course it's empty. We know that the tomb is empty. Jesus didn't stay in there. And that's what we celebrate on Easter. That Jesus died today on Good Friday is a really sad thing to remember. But it's beautiful too because we know it's not the end of the story. And we'll be back to worship on Sunday, this year in our homes, but we'll be connected together through the Spirit as we celebrate that that tomb is empty. Jesus has conquered death, and we don't have to fear it because we too have a death like his and a resurrection like his. And so I can put these little eggs back together into their bigger egg. It's really a fun toy, and if you'd ever like to see it more closely, when we're back at church, you can take a look at it in my office. It comes with a very beautiful book, and so I'm glad I could share that with you today. I hope that your Good Fridays are also very meaningful for you at home to talk about the sad parts of the story of Jesus, the parts that are hard to hear, the parts that are scary. And also then to end your time at home giving thanks to God for taking all of that on through his son, Jesus Christ, and that we know we have a celebration right around the corner called Easter. All right, thanks, girls and boys. Bye.